Okay, we're gonna do news for the poor. Here we go. Come on, Farcus. Come on, Farcus. Come on, Farcus. Come on, Farcus. Farcus. Are you gonna get over here and do the news or what? Come on. Are you gonna do the news or what? Because the news doesn't stop. The news doesn't stop just because there's cold weather.
Hey, Farcus.
Yep, you're a good boy.
What I was going to talk about today on News for the Poor was this Oklahoma State study on photosynthesis. But in light of all this Hunter Biden news, I feel I had to comment as News for the Poor.
Okay, this is what I... Stop. Come on, man, just lay down.
News for the Poor. We bring you all the news, no matter the weather. Farcus and I are here for you, and I have no conflict of interest. I wanted to get into the psychology of Hunter Biden with the laptop stuff. Because, as it turns out, that was the best decision Hunter Biden could have ever made. Because it bought him pardon. And I'm about to explain why. Because this is really important in knowing why Joe Biden had to pardon his son. Let's go back to April 2019. Hunter Biden is back in the country, in Delaware. And he has, I do believe, 2 laptops, multiple things he has to drop off at a computer store in Delaware that is owned by a man named John Paul Mac Isaac, who has a rule, like all computer repair shops, that if you drop off your computer and you're a no-show to pick it up and you haven't paid for it, after 90 days it becomes ownership of the shop. When this happened, after he tried to contact Hunter Biden several times, he didn't think anything of it, and he put him on the shelf. He dropped off the computer knowing full well that he was never going to pick it up. He obviously had the money to pick it up. He'd spent several $100,000 annually on hookers and drugs. He had an amazing no-show job in Ukraine, like mobsters do, where he just didn't have to do anything. You wouldn't even ever had to go, except for maybe some board meetings, but there were good hookers and drugs there. So he had to keep going. Why would Hunter Biden drop off a laptop with extraordinarily incriminating evidence and not pick it up, knowing full well that at the time his father was not planning on doing anything? This is April 2019. Nobody heard Joe Biden's name for years. He was done. So why did Hunter Biden drop off that incriminating laptop and leave it to be found? Probably because he was very jaded and vengeful. I mean, these are the actions of a very jaded and vengeful man who is on record as having had a huge problem with having to pay for the Biden family's everything with his special no-show mobster job. So, of course, Joe Biden had to pardon his son. Because if he didn't, he was going to prison for at least 5. And guess what? The whole top of that Burisma thing was coming off. All of it.
There we go. There we go. Yeah, you're a good boy. Yeah, you're a good boy.
If Joe Biden had not pardoned Hunter Biden would have done the exact same thing he had done in 2019. Fed up, strung out, and pissed off for having been disrespected by his father's campaign management and staffers several times. Told that they don't want this strung out maniac around here. What are these ideas from this strung out maniac son of yours? We don't want to hear from him. This guy's a piece of garbage. He goes over to the Ukraine, spends the hundreds of thousands of dollars on drugs and hookers. He takes $20,000 out of his daughter's college fund to pay for drugs and hookers. Of course we don't want this guy on the campaign contributing his 2 cents. That is just drugs and hookers. They found drugs in the White House. That never got brought back up, did it? I wonder who that was. So, of course, Joe Biden is going to pardon his son. If he didn't, we'd find out exactly what happened from prison, because Hunter Biden would be going to federal prison for several years. Big name rappers with the same charges get 5 guaranteed. And Joe Biden says it was a political attack? No, it wasn't. The whole laptop was a vengeance thing. You see that no-show job that he got set up with? That was the dark money that was coming in. Joe Biden has how many houses? How did that happen? I wonder.